Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you 5 things that I learned from my mum. And these are life lessons that I'm hoping to pass on to my children as they grow up. I realized that when I'm talking to friends and family, I generally say, I learned that from my mum, or my mum taught me this, or my mum used to say that. And I say that a lot. So there's a lot of my mum in me, a lot of things that I have carried with me, despite not knowing at the time when she was teaching me these things that I was learning them, because they have been part of my upbringing and I just grew up to actually learn these lessons. So I wanted to share these with you. Let me know if your mum is a big influence in your life as well, and if you have any lessons that you've learned from your mum that you keep with you and you always say to people. So let's get straight into the video. The first lesson that I learned from my mum, and this is my mum through and through, is that telling the truth is always better. My mum is a huge advocate for telling the truth, and I remember growing up, she used to say to us, it doesn't matter what you did, if you tell the truth, it will be 1,000,000 times better. And that has had a huge impact in my life, because I'm one of those people that really struggle even to say a white lie. I feel like I'm disappointing people, letting them down, because that's the feeling I had growing up. Whenever I told my mum a white lie or said anything that wasn't completely the truth, I felt like I was disappointing her and that she was expecting us to tell the truth and that she trusted us to tell the truth. So that's something that I always tell my children. Telling the truth is always better. Tell me the truth and it will be okay in the end. Second thing that my mum taught me was that there is a natural remedy for everything in life, or almost everything. So whenever we had a headache, she had a tea for it. Whenever we had a stomach ache, she had a tea for it. You know, there was always something natural that we could do. It was like, if your head is hurting, just put pressure on it and you'll feel better. It wasn't like, take this like paracetamol straight away or something like that. She always had a natural remedy. And this is something that this year I made a really big effort to change in my life. Since becoming a mum myself, I've been a lot more wary and careful of my health. Obviously, I want to be there for my kids when they grow up, and I want to be able to be healthy for them. And looking after children when you're ill is probably one of the worst experiences in life, isn't it? Because you don't get the day off. So boosting my immune system and helping my body in natural ways has been a great focus of this year for me. I have introduced a few things into my diet and into my life which has helped that. The first thing is now I take a multivitamin supplement, you know, the ones that you give to your children because they need it. We need it too. So I have a multivitamin supplement every day, and that just helps replenish those vitamins that I'm not getting through my diet. Second thing is now I'm taking a food supplement as well to boost my immune system, and the one that I'm taking is from a brand called Alkan Life, and it's called Phytorelief-cc. So in it, in the little tablets, you get turmeric, pomegranate, and ginger extracts. It tastes just like you're sucking on a ginger mint or something like that. It's a herbal food supplement. This helps to boost your immune system, which means that when the kids come home from school with all the viruses, the coughs and the colds, that my immune system is a little bit more equipped to deal with these viruses. I feel like since I started adding these to my diet that I have caught a lot less colds than I would have without these, and the ones that I've had have been really mild, so it kind of helped with the symptoms as well of sore throat or just coughs and just general cold, a common cold. So yeah, these have been really helpful. Inside you have 12 little tablets. And as you can see, I have nearly finished this little carton. The 3 main ingredients in this food supplement are here for a reason. So the pomegranate is full of antioxidants, ginger extracts are an anti-inflammatory, and the turmeric helps control the inflammatory response in your body. So it's kind of boosting your immune system in a really natural way. I highly recommend having a look at these if you feel like you're catching every cold that's going around and your immune system needs a good boost. I'll leave a link to it in the description box below. I have really enjoyed these, and I feel like it's made made a difference. And whenever I take one of these, I always remember my mum, and this is definitely something that she would have bought herself. And the last natural, healthy thing that I've added to my life this year is exercising frequently. If you follow my channel for a while, then you know that I've been on a running journey, and I've been running quite a lot this year. The health benefits of exercising are just enormous. There's so much that your life could benefit from exercising. So these three things are definitely something that have been influenced by my mum, because it's her way of thinking that's weaved into my life and made me think about it and implement it. And I feel this is something that I bring into my children's lives as well. So the third lesson that I learned from my mum is that you can always come back home. And this is such a heartwarming, comforting lesson that I am passing on to my children, and I hope they grow up to know that there's always a place for them at home. I have never felt like I'm on my own in the world. Wherever I've been, and I've moved from one continent to the other, like thousands of miles away from my parents and my family, and I've always known that there's always a place for me at home. And wherever I go, wherever life leads me, if I want to come back home to my mum, I know I can. I feel confident and comfortable that my place will be there waiting for me. This is something that I am really passionate about passing on to my children. I want them to know that home will be waiting for them whenever they want to come, and that they will never be unwelcome. The doors will always be open. There will always be food, a place for them to stay, and love. And yeah, just, I know it sounds cheesy, but that's something that I've carried on with me for my entire life. It made me feel a bit emotional thinking about it, because this is one of those things that is so deep rooted in me that, yeah, it's lovely. It's a lovely feeling. The fourth life lesson that my mum taught me is something that I probably say to a lot of people, and it is that time is a matter of priority. So I remember being younger and saying to my mum, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that. And my mum politely correcting me, saying, time is a matter of priority. If you make it a priority, you'll have time for it. So don't tell me you don't have time, tell me this is not a priority in your life. And to me at the time, as a younger person, because I don't think I was a child at that point, it was so interesting to understand where my mum was coming from with that. It was her way of saying, take responsibility for what you're saying that you don't have time for. It's not that you don't have time for it, it's that that's not important to you. And so by admitting that something wasn't important to me, it was like, I'm taking responsibility for it. I'm saying that this is not important to me, which is a big deal, instead of saying I don't have time for it. So if a friend says, should we go for a coffee? And you say, oh, sorry, I don't have time for it. What you're actually saying is that this is not a priority for me. This is not important to me. Not in so many words, but it's not as important to me as other things that I've got to do. So when you think about it, do you think twice before saying no to a coffee with your friend? Or do you continue to say, I don't have time for it? That's a huge life lesson that I learned from my mum, and I try to pass it on to my husband and my family here in the UK. I think my children are a little bit too young to understand it, but I don't think they're ever too young to start hearing it and getting it into their minds about the importance of time and priority and taking responsibility for your time. So yeah, that is a very mum lesson, one that I associate with her a lot. The last lesson that my mum taught me is that respect is the foundation of good relationships. This is an interesting one for me, because I feel like most people would say that love is the foundation to all relationships and love is the most important thing in the world. And that is true, it's important. But what my mum was trying to teach us was that you can't just live out of love. I think it was coming from more of a practical side rather than an abstract side. It was her way of saying you've got to work to make things work. And being respectful is hard work sometimes, because when you're wound up and you're stressed and you lose that drive to keep being a respectful person, unless you know that that's important in a relationship, that's what makes good relationships, you won't keep working hard at it. You know that love is there, and if you love someone, you know they love you, you tend to kind of relax around them, And that's what my mum used to say, never lose sight of the respect you have for each other, because that is the foundation of good relationships with your friends, with your partners, with your children. If you respect them and they respect you, that relationship will be strong and you can build on it. You can go through difficult things and not have your relationship affected. So yeah, I think despite the fact that we love a lot of people and we love family and we love our friends and our children, if we don't respect them, that relationship won't be as strong. So yeah, that's something that I definitely carry on with my children. I feel like we have a very respectful household. We don't swear at each other in our house. I know that that's not always disrespectful, but that's how I was raised, and there's a lot of things that we don't do. We don't call each other names, we don't ridicule, and we just know that that respect is there, you know, respecting the people that you love. And yeah, these are the 5 things that I learned from my mum. I know there are a lot more things, probably if I start to think about them they will come back to me, but I feel like these were the 5 ones that came to mind first when I started to think about them. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new. And I wanted to say a huge thank you to Alchem Life for sponsoring this video. It was such an interesting partnership and I loved the message in this video. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.